The internet is a wonderful tool. We use it to communicate with others, share ideas, and waste countless hours on social media. But recently, there have been rising threats to the equality on it. And the reason why the internet works so well is because of a principle called net neutrality. Net neutrality is the principle that all data on the internet should be treated equally without discrimination against certain servers that provide people with services, meaning that internet service providers, also known as ISPs, can't deny you access to any of the websites that you prefer. But in a recent court ruling in January of 2014, Verizon shot down the FCC's ruling over net neutrality. They were keeping guard over it, and now they don't have any regulation over it, allowing ISPs to restrict access to any types of data that you desire. This can allow ISPs to charge you multiple fees on any kind of website that you prefer, such as YouTube. If you want to watch a video on YouTube, now you can be charged $5 extra because they'll cut your internet if you don't pay them. It also cuts out competition from other startup companies, just from your hometown or something. If you want to get on the internet, you're going to have to pay a premium charge. But in reality, it is only the exact same internet speed that you would get. This also, because of the way that ISPs work, they have control over all of the internet that they provide to you. When was the last time that you found out about a new internet service provider besides Comcast, Time Warner Cable, or Verizon, AT&T? All of them are monopolies, and they have complete control over all the data that we access. Now, because they have control over the data that we access, companies like Netflix, Google, all have to pay a premium price to get normal internet speeds from these people. The problem,
Just catch your breath and don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. We're fine.
my mind's going somewhere else.
You'll be fine. Just remember what your argument is.
My argument is that net neutrality is necessary in order for everyone to have equal data on the internet. If we didn't have any equal data, then we couldn't go and watch our favorite cat videos on YouTube. That's literally all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Gesundheit. All right, Christopher. The topic area is identified. You've got a nice definition of what net neutrality is. The court case that you make reference to establishes that there's some grounds for an argument here because there's something that's happening that you believe is going to be a problem. Now, you need to have that propositional statement at the beginning of the speech. You have it sort of at the end when you're finishing off and you just are summarizing what you're saying, that net neutrality is necessary in order for everybody to have equal access to the internet. That's basically what your claim is, but your proposition's not stated until the end of the speech rather than at the beginning of the speech. There's no layout of what the secondary structures are, so it feels a little bit like you're wandering on the topic, and I'm sure that you felt that way too. You're having a little bit of trouble finding yourself in a couple of spots. It comes down to this. There was this court ruling, and the court ruling is going to allow ISPs to do certain things if the ruling is not changed, and that those things that the ISPs do will have negative consequences to consumers or to websites. So the first question is anybody doing this? We need an example or an illustration or at least some likelihood or probability that the ISPs are going to change the rules under which they are delivering internet content here. The fact that the FCC was denied the ability to do this regulation under the court ruling doesn't necessarily mean that by necessity the ISPs then are going to impose the restrictions that you're talking about. Now, if you've got examples of ISPs doing that or attempting to do that, then that would make that argument a lot stronger. Also, the notion that the companies are going to have to pay, for example, to have access, why is that an unreasonable or problematic sort of thing? So you mentioned YouTube or Google or some other sites like that that have high user demand, and there's going to be a fee that's going to be charged. Well, my understanding is that YouTube is making a bucket load of money and Google makes a bucket load of money. Why is it that the ISPs shouldn't also be making a bucket load of money? There's got to be some reason that those companies can't afford to pay, or that doing so is going to change the content availability. Now, there is an inference at one point that suggests that the consumers are going to be forced to pay these extra fees, but that is mostly an assertion on your part, and you need some proof on that. You kind of explain the nature of the issue. What you don't have is much evidence to support the generalization that you're making, so that's a problem. And I think you recognize that you kind of gave up on yourself during the speech. I think you recovered a little bit, reminding yourself about what the purpose of your argument was at the end, but it's obviously a little underdeveloped. You have a lot of time left, and I'm sure that you're going to kick yourself because you're going to remember all those things that you were going to say in about 20 minutes. You're going to say, oh yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, you're remembering them right now. There you go. Doesn't take long. All right, thank you.